So we're here with Abe Reiki, who's one of the IT staff at Mount Hood Meadows, and just going to ask you some questions, Abe, and just answer it and fill in as you like. So Mount Hood Meadows has just finished the final phase of implementing their ShoreTel system last spring.
Or last fall.
Last fall.
Yep.
Okay. And Abe, I know we started this project, Inflow and Mount Hood Meadows started this project a few years ago. We integrated with your legacy Toshiba system and deployed ShoreTel down at your sales office. And I know a few years ago you guys were looking at various phone systems. Can you just give just a quick answer on why you guys were looking and what sort of needs you were trying to fill with new technology?
Yeah. We had a Toshiba PBX system for about 25 years, and the system was breaking down. Certain cards on the system would fail, and they need to be replaced. But while we're trying to find new cards that work, a number of phones would be down. The lack of functionality for this old system was just ridiculous. Managing the old system was ridiculous. So there was and the voicemail server was constantly breaking down. We had to build it from scratch. It was a pain. So there's a big need for a new phone system here at Mount Hood Meadows, and we were missing a lot of, in my opinion, we were missing a lot of communication with our guests because they couldn't get through to us. They leave a voicemail and nobody's attending some voicemail box that they left their message on. They weren't able to get through to the correct department. They weren't able to speak with someone who knew what they needed before they came up to the mountain. So anyway, the old phone system and its lack of functionality and the fact that it was breaking down on us was hindering us a great deal. So it was pretty clear that we needed to move into the 21st century.
Great.
Yeah, and we didn't want to just get some fix in place. We wanted to have a phone system that really helped us out a lot, like really, jumped us ahead, and future-proofed us too. So.
Great. And when you guys were looking at alternative technologies, how was Inflow throughout the sales process in helping you understand the technology and what was available, and how did that go down?
Very helpful. I had already had a lot of experience with ShoreTel phone systems because of a prior company I'd worked for, and so I knew the system really well. We had looked at some other solutions. One other solution we had looked at was simply upgrading our old broken down Toshiba system to utilizing the new Toshiba IP telephony systems. And without getting too far into that, it was pretty clear that ShoreTel was going to be the best answer for Meadows. So again, Inflow was very helpful by bringing a live demonstration to Meadows, and was able to show some of the people who needed to sign off on this, sum of money that we needed to spend, and show these people how the system worked, and that was very helpful to have a live demonstration.
Great. So, Abe, you had mentioned also that you have worked with some other IP-based systems in past lives or other jobs. Just Cisco being the one you had mentioned. Can you just give kind of a high level of what your differences are, what the differences are now that you've implemented and support ShoreTel, as opposed to implementation and supporting of Cisco?
Yeah.
Maybe you can just elaborate a little bit on that for us. That'd be great.
My experience with Cisco, it's been a night and day difference between Cisco and ShoreTel. The Cisco implementation needed to be done by some high-level third-party consultants at this prior company I worked for. After they got it up and running, which there were some challenges that came up and some other problems implementing the system. Once it was up and running smoothly, it was a nightmare to manage and very difficult for the administrative staff that worked for the company to handle that phone system. Any moves, adds, or changes were very time-consuming, and again, administrating the system was hard, and adding new phones to the system, very difficult. Utilizing different kinds of phones. Actually, there was one case where we had a lower-end IP phone that we simply just couldn't implement because it was, we didn't want to spend the money to hire the consultants to bring them back, and so we couldn't implement these lower-end IP phones, but the higher-end IP phones were working okay. Anyway, with the ShoreTel system at another previous job of mine and here at Mount Hood Meadows, the system was easy enough to implement ourselves. We were able to install the hardware and install the software and all the licensing necessary. Again, adds, moves, and changes are a breeze. Yeah, again, just like I said before, night and day between managing a Cisco system and the ShoreTel system. And to ShoreTel's credit, the functionality and the scalability is all there too. So I don't feel like for a medium-sized business to a small business, you're missing out on anything by going with ShoreTel over any other vendor.
Great. And so now that you've had the ShoreTel system in, just real quick, what sort of business objectives has it met for Mount Hood Meadows? And I know one thing you'd mentioned is the interaction with your guests and how important that was. And so how has the system enhanced that with you guys here at Meadows?
Yeah, there were two. Compared to the old Toshiba system that was breaking down, obviously ShoreTel is incredibly reliable. So that was priority number one, but that was a given. So that wasn't may not even be worth discussing. Two of the features that have really helped out Mount Hood Meadows have been the unified communications aspect and the work group functionality within the ShoreTel system. The unified communications is great because it incorporates and allows us to access our voicemails and know when we have voicemails or any incoming calls. The ShoreTel call manager has been a huge help in terms of the presence or knowing if someone's available to take a call or something like that. So that's the unified communications that has really helped us out a lot. The other aspect was the work group functionality within the ShoreTel call manager. The work groups have been very beneficial to us because now we have a number of people who are available to take incoming calls from our guests, and at their leisure they can log into a work group and take calls and return voicemails to our guests, which we haven't been able to do in the past as efficiently or as quickly. And so I think the intangible benefit that we're clearly getting is more guests, better communication with our guests, and once we get their questions and concerns answered over the phone, they're more likely to come to Meadows as opposed to some other ski resort, and being more available to our guests is
awesome.
Definitely been a huge improvement for us.
And last couple questions, Abe. What the music in the background? What how's Inflow been in supporting you guys since you've deployed the ShoreTel system?
Inflow's been great. When my boss and I first installed the ShoreTel IP phone system, when we did our cutover from the Toshiba to the new system, we wanted to do it ourselves, and at odd hours of the day and at untimely moments, Inflow was available to us via phone and helped us through some of the questions and problems we were running into, and we were able to do a pretty smooth cutover from the old Toshiba system to the new ShoreTel, and that was a huge benefit. And since then, Inflow has been available, and one of the nice things about the support we're getting from Inflow is that the first person who answers your phone call or responds to your email is the person who can finish the support call with you. You don't have to be bumped up to another layer of support. The first person you talk to is more than knowledgeable enough to take care of us. So.
Awesome, Abe. Last question. I lied. Would you recommend ShoreTel and Inflow to other organizations looking at deploying IP telephony?
Absolutely. Whether you're an IT shop like ours, which likes to be hands-on with the IT services you're implementing or designing for your company, or if you would prefer to have outside vendors sort of take care of the installation and the bulk work of getting crossed over, Inflow I think would work great for you. So I think Inflow adapted to us very well in terms of how they could support us.
Perfect. Abe, thank you so much. Appreciate it.